Since its launch in 2005, Broad Street Review has sought to promote the exchange of viewpoints rather than any particular point of view. To that end, we welcome commentary from professionals and amateurs alike about the performing and visual arts, as well as any other field of interest to our eclectic group of contributors. The following interview was submitted to Broad Street Review, powered by Rep Radio. So if you were an animal in the wild, what would you be and why? Go.
Like a bear, definitely.
By the way, if you just tuned in, we're talking with Shoshanna Ruth Green.
That's me.
And Cubby Altobelli.
That's me.
Yes. All right. And you are two of the troupe that make up the 7 Deadly Seas.
It's actually the sound you hear is actually a part of our rehearsal process. It's we found that if you have really distracting stuff in the background, you focus more on the audience and really focusing on your character. And
that's how you're using it?
Yeah,
I'm just using it as a distraction so I don't have to learn my lines.
That's how you tune it out.
I've never been off book for these shows, ever.
Well, I guess that works for you because it's improv. But
that's the theory.
Scripted to a sense.
So Cubby's actually the author as well.
Oh,
the playwright,
yeah.
So.
As a playwright, I have found time and time again that the written word doesn't matter at all.
I was about to say, I was like, so we can't talk about how your script doesn't really matter, and we can just use it as a blueprint to kind of go off wherever we want.
That's exactly what we do.
That's what a script is. Like,
it is, but there are a lot of authors, writers who are very.
Beckett is just like thrashing
very
in his
precious.
Grave right now.
Beckett's estate
is thrashing in
their grave.
Seats in their office rooms.
Oh, I killed the analogy. I'm sorry.
Just like Beckett.
So we're
it took a lot less.
So we're here to talk about 7 Deadly Seas, the greater of 2 evils.
Yeah.
And is this a fringe piece? Is that fringe time, or is it just right before?
We can't afford that.
we're pre-fringe.
I love the shows that show up around fringe, so they're on the fringe of fringe.
We're hipster fringe. We do it before the fringe is cool.
We're just not in the book. That's all.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it's funny enough because the show takes place on the historic tall ship Gazela.
Uh-huh.
So we chose our dates around the ship's schedule primarily. And it just happened to be in orbit of the fringe.
Yeah, like right around the fringe, yeah. When our schedules and the ship's schedules aligned.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
I think for at least the last 10 years, but I've been in Philly for 16 years. And I think the last 10 years, there's definitely been some presence of burlesque entertainment. And unless you are a hardcore fan, you may not know exactly what burlesque is. Or you may have an idea in your head that may not be accurate. So just tell us, what is burlesque?
That's a really good question. Because that definition in itself is often debated within the burlesque community.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would say it's... so originally, burlesque, the word burlesque means satire.
Mm-hmm.
It's from a French word that means satire. So it was originally, and correct me if I'm wrong here, Cubby, but I'm pretty sure it was originally sort of an offshoot of vaudeville, or like ran parallel to vaudeville, and it was sexier and more satirical, and had more variety of acts than vaudeville, and sort of eventually sort of went the route of just sexy people dancing and taking their clothes off. Mm-hmm. And there's definitely an aspect of that, but I would say true modern burlesque that you find happening now and happening especially in Philadelphia, there's some sort of satire, commentary that's going on with all of the dances and taking your clothes off, because that's definitely a big part of it, but also included that is comedy acts, music acts, dancing acts, all of those sorts of things.
I think the original distinction between burlesque and vaudeville was simply that vaudeville was set in place. Burlesque was more touring. Vaudevilles found their place in the city, where they got super racist.
Oh yeah, burlesque has a lot less racism than vaudeville.
Vaudeville really found its voice when it was just like the stereotype of everyone they could find.
Yeah, like you literally find old scripts of vaudeville, and it's literally like, this stereotype comes on stage, does a bit, exits. Next stereotype comes on stage, does a bit, and you're like, oh, that's
So and then vaudeville kind of cleaned itself up, and in response, burlesque, it's been my impression, kind of dirtied itself up. And so like neo vaudeville and neo sideshow and neo burlesque are all very closely interrelated. Kind of always have been.
Yeah, so I would say if you were for someone who'd never been to a burlesque show, if you're going to go to your first burlesque show, what you will probably see is sexy people taking their clothes off, not completely naked. They usually get down to pasties and a thong, or close to that. All of the dances will have something either highly creative, highly artistic, a political commentary, a social commentary, some sort of message that goes along with each dance. And in between that, you're probably going to find a really interesting MC who's really funny. You're going to maybe find some comedy acts, maybe find some music acts interspersed in between sexy people taking their clothes off.
Yeah. But when you come to our show, it's actually a full play. Instead of an MC character, we basically have the adventures of our pirate characters. So the girls take parts too. So it's a full cast, and it really is just a complete play with the dance elements.
Yeah, so the two dancers also play characters, and the reasons they're taking their clothes off are justified within the script. Justified,
barely,
just like them.
Barely, yeah.
Within the script, and there's a continuing plot line, beginning, middle, end, comedy, live music, all of that kind of stuff. Yeah.
And is it fun for all levels? Or is it
not
more
all
on
ages.
the adult side?
Yeah, it's definitely 18
definitely
plus.
On the adult side?
Yeah, definitely 18. Well, I mean, sexy people.
It'd be fun for teenagers.
Oh yeah, they probably love the show. But there are sexy people taking their clothes off. So nice. I mean, you could. I don't think we have a restriction.
We did have that one 13-year-old kid.
Yeah. So like parents, if you want to bring your like 14, 15-year-olds to see a show where there's swearing and people take their clothes off, and a little bit of violence, like go for it. We will not turn you away at the door.
Yeah. And honestly, it also works on all levels in another way, because we do try to put whatever satire we can, like kind of usually in a knowing wink, but at the flip side, we never skimp on like the more visceral entertainments. It's still got to be funny, whether it's not. I've never felt like it's worth it just to do a message. Like it's also got to be a really entertaining show, which is why I love the burlesque plays so much, because bottom line, you have to entertain the audience in a way you don't always have to in a message play.
Yeah.
So tell me, the greater of two evils. Where did the idea come from? When did it start? And tell us about the process.
That's a great question for Cubby, because he's the writer. So
yeah. Well, the show, spoiler, the show starts with the pirates waking up from kind of an epic bender. Which is, we used to do this show annually. Sometimes we would do, a couple of times we even did 2 shows a year. And it's been a number of years, so I feel that was the inspiration. So they wake up from the bender, and my pirate, Calico Jack, finds out that while he's been completely blackout drunk over the course of the last few months, he's been running for president of the United States.
And doing quite well.
Yeah, a leading candidate right now.
Yeah.
Is he going up against Trump?
We don't say who the other contender is. He might be much more of a Trump character than a Hillary character. He certainly doesn't make a lot of sense when he makes speeches.
So this is a political piece. We're going.
Oh, definitely.
We're creating quite a trend this summer.
Yeah, they always have been. The Seven Deadly Sea shows always have been. They started years ago with Cabaret Red Light. Who was a cabaret live music burlesque company that did many, many shows in Philadelphia. And one of them were these pirate shows. But then when Cabaret Red Light ended, the three of us, basically, myself, Cubby, and Kimberly Cruz, wanted to keep the shows going. And we did that for a couple years. We've been off for 2 years.
At least.
Yeah, 1 year was because of scheduling, and the other year was because the ship was being repaired, so we couldn't do ships on it. Yeah. But we're back. We're very excited about it. But yeah, they always have been political in nature. Yeah, the pirates started off kind of making fun of like the Ponzi scheme.
Yeah, they're kind of corporate greed personified.
Yeah, that's so they figure pirates, modern pirates, were corporate greed. But we play Calico Jack and Bonney and Mary Read. And I like to feel like we are very historical. We represent these characters in like complete historical accuracy, I feel.
Oh, yeah. I feel like if Calico Jack came back from the dead, like, and was interested in corporate greed and stock trading, and had the ridiculous accent I use, I feel like you couldn't tell us apart.
Yeah. I feel it'd be pretty accurate, yeah.
He'd fit right in.
Yeah.
He would have some dialogue that would be totally off the wall, but it would fit in some odd way. I think this guy's got something.
Yeah, no, I would be out of a job. Because it'd be like, Cubby, this is a 1-to-1 transition. You're out.
Yeah. Sorry. And he also can, run the ship, so. Although you can too. You've been trained on Gazela, right?
I mean, I've helped sail Gazela.
Okay.
I would say the training was excellent, but the student not so much. but I know to run when people yell to run. You run to and you haul the lines. I can do that.
Nice.
So how did you find Gazela?
That was actually through Kimberly Cruz. She had been volunteering for the ship for I think a couple years before we started the show, and she's just got one of those amazing minds that like finds opportunity everywhere. So she knew that we had these pirate characters. They were looking for a venue to do shows, so she coordinated between the ship and Cabaret Red Light, and it was really kind of a beautiful match between the two because a lot of the proceeds from these shows go directly to Gazela.
Yeah, felicity, serendipity.
Serendipity, yeah, all of those things. Yeah, and that really primarily the show is a fundraiser for the ship because they get a large proportion, yeah, that's the word, of the proceeds go to the repair and upkeep and maintenance of Gazela, which I feel really happy about because Gazela is amazing.
Yeah, it's a really beautiful ship. If you're not familiar, it docks at Penn's Landing. If it's not away on adventures, it's just right there all year long, and it's like any weekend really. You can, if there's somebody there to give you a tour, they'll do it gladly. It's an amazing.
I think donation only, right? To get the tour?
No, you can just get the tour.
Oh, really?
You'll ask for a donation.
Oh, but that's awesome. I didn't even know that. Yeah, yeah, and it's cool. It's 115-year-old barquentine, Portuguese barquentine.
It's actually a little difficult to get the exact date she was built, but it is first clear documentation of her existence was in the 1890s.
So fishing boat.
Yeah.
Talk about the rehearsal process. This has to be loads of fun.
It is. It's far more casual than you might expect because one of the great things about this show is that everyone in it has been performing and doing what they do for at least a decade. So you can say to these amazing dancers, look, like, here are your lines. Here, choose your song, choose your costumes, figure out your dance. We don't even need to all be all together for that process. They can do that all in their own time. And same with us as performers. Like, we've all been, myself and Cubby and Kimberly, we've been performing, the three of us together, for like 6 or 7 years, and individually for 20 years. So we have very few rehearsals, actually. It's kind of like everyone gets their assignments, everyone works really hard individually, we all come together, and it all goes beautifully together. It's one of my favorite things about the rehearsal process, because it's so
Easy.
It's so easy.
Easy.
It's nice and casual, and everybody is a professional, so they all know what to do. So there's not that like panic and stress that you find in a lot of other rehearsal processes.
Cool. And it helps. Like, this is the 6th show we've done, I think.
I think so, yeah.
So we have the characters down. There's never a question of why somebody does somebody.
Right.
Like, we just slip into character.
Yeah.
And then the character does all of the work. Like, I'm barely there. Jack does all the heavy lifting.
You just drink the whole time.
Yeah. Well, I can. I don't have a fight.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, there's a sword fight every show, and it's usually myself and Kimberly, and that's our thing. I mean, we can't drink if we're gonna have a sword fight. Alcohol and swords don't go very well together. But that's always our biggest complaint, is Cubby keeps writing the sword fights into the end of the show.
Because it makes for such a great finale.
But then we can't drink until the end of the show. Ah, so annoying.
You can pretend to drink.
And we do.
I drew a blank.
Oh, that's okay.
I guess we just admitted a lot. Like, we kind of destroyed some illusion by admitting that you guys aren't drinking all the times you're pretending to drink in the first act.
And also that we don't, and also, like, we rehearse, months, weeks, hours of rehearsal, so much.
Well, while
Now
we
it
broke the
changes.
illusion on drinking, that means if you do sneak some alcohol into the show and you want to share it with us, because of course you do, send it my way.
That's what I was going to ask. Is it BYOB for the audience?
Not really.
You can't drink on it at all?
Oh no, you can drink on the boat. But we've got a bar there.
Oh, okay.
So
you can tie one on before the show.
Yes.
Oh,
yeah.
Heavens, yeah.
Yeah. We encourage pre-gaming.
Heavy drinking encouraged.
But as opposed to, because in the past it has been BYOB, and we do have a vendor on board this year, which is exciting. It means a lot less logistics. You don't have to plan or bring anything at all.
There will already be alcohol on the boat for you.
Yeah.
Cool.
So you can just buy us a fresh beer.
Right, you just buy us a Dark and Stormy after the show.
Intermission for me.
So you mentioned Calico Jack, and you talked about him, but talk about some of the other characters.
Okay, so I play Anne Bonney. And Kimberly Cruz plays Mary Reed. So Kimberly and I have another comedy group called Sidetracked. Mm-hmm. We've been performing together for almost 12 years now. We've gone to the Edinburgh Fringe Festival. We've done the Edmonton Fringe Festival. We've done street theaters, Renaissance fairs. We've been performing as a 2-person comedy act for a really long time. So we bring a lot of that aspect into these characters. And it just makes sense. Like, Anne Bonney and Mary Reed were a duo as well, so we play that. Our characters are pretty horrible and horrifying people. I mean, we love the idea of the non-romanticized version of pirates. Like, pirates, they were pretty terrible. Like, they killed people and stole things and shot guns, and there's all these beautiful quotes, especially from Anne Bonney and Mary Reed, that are just like these actual real life quotes. They're like these vicious quotes. My favorite one is, so eventually,
about me?
About you. Yeah. So in real life, they were all captured, and they were all pretty hungover, and Anne Bonney and Mary Reed are up on. We assume we're up on deck, like, fighting the authorities off, and Calico Jack is hiding down under the boat. And when they all get captured, Calico Jack is hung
from a gibbet.
And Anne Bonney and Mary Reed, it's a little, they're not quite sure, because they're both like, Your Honor, we are both pregnant. Can't kill us. Yep. Look at our lady parts all pregnant over here. And then they kind of disappear. Like no one really knows what happened to them after that. But there's a, what is it? If you had fought like a man, you wouldn't have...
Hung like a dog.
You wouldn't have hung like a dog was Anne Bonny's quote. And I just love that. So we kind of really embraced that idea. So like they say horrible, terrible, awful things and do horrible, awful things.
Nice. What is the audience like, and have you seen audience members from previous years return?
Oh, heavens, yeah.
Yeah, we have a lot of repeat customers. Yeah, definitely.
Many satisfied customers.
Many satisfied customers. Many satisfied customers. There's a big variety in on. Like you said, like one time we had a 13-year-old.
Yeah, that was fun.
That was interesting.
That was up in New York. Because we have traveled with the show. We can go anywhere.
That's going to be my other question.
Anywhere the boat can go. So we've been to Baltimore and we've been to New York twice.
Oh.
The mother and the aunt and a little boy came up, like 13 years old. They wanted to buy the ticket, and we're all worried.
We're like, it's not like a kid's pirate. They're pirates, but it's not a kid pirate show.
And she was like, it's fine. And I got to say, the best place to look at any point of that show was right at those three, because he was in the middle, and he was slumped down in his chair as small as he could.
Super embarrassed.
Half covering his face, and they were laughing nonstop the entire show.
They loved it.
I think it would have been funny if that little kid had a deep voice and he's like, "Lady, I've seen a few things."
They were like, "I'm 37. I just look young." Yeah.
I gotta say, audience-wise, though, I'm disappointed to say we have never had two 10-year-olds hiding under a trench coat trying to pass themselves off.
Oh yeah, with a mustache. Guys, if you can do that out there, like we will totally turn the other way.
Where do you
and
even
let
get
you
a
on.
trench coat these days?
A thrift store?
It'd have to be a thrift store.
It would have to be a thrift store. Yeah, I guess so. Those
Goldberg
two
would be good. I have one, but I've just had it forever.
I don't know that I would trust anyone walking around in a trench coat.
Especially with a fake mustache.
With a fake mustache.
Yeah.
That's pretty much the point of a trench coat at this point, right? Is just to not be trustworthy. Like, that person has either got a gun or no pants under there.
You're
either way, I don't want to see
Could be
it.
both.
It's a nice weather day. It's not raining tonight. What's the point of this trench coat?
Why is he walking around?
I don't think I'd trust somebody in a trench coat in the rain.
Even in the rain?
Even in the rain, I'd just be like, no.
But you know what? Has there been any accounts of like a flasher in the rain? It's always
that's a beautiful image and phrase.
Wow.
Flasher in the rain.
Flasher in the rain.
I loved
Flasher in the rain.
Yeah.
All my dreams.
We could make it real
go down the
artsy.
drain.
We could make it real artsy with some nice romantic music, and it's like flashers Seven
in the
Deadly
rain.
Seas presents
Exchanging glances.
Flasher in the rain.
I feel like that's the part of the movie where the flasher is like lost touch with their perversion, and they're just like walking around in the rain, like suffering emotionally, and then like the rain cards plow, and there's a rainbow that shines down on them, and then like an innocent young lady, and there
has to be an inner monologue.
Yeah,
It's a voiceover. The whole thing's a voiceover.
he just like finds his perversion again.
Maybe he's fighting being a flasher. So
it's like
every time he walks by a
internally.
woman or somebody, every time he walks by somebody, like he resists the urge to flash them. So maybe he'll get like the first two, but then somebody else gets the business.
Resist.
I would watch this movie.
What do we call it? Flasher in the rain.
Flasher in the rain.
Seven Deadly Seas presents
Flasher in the rain.
Flasher in the rain.
That's our next show.
A love
And
story.
there's a secondary character who's just trying to sell knockoff watches, but everyone thinks he's a flasher, and he's like,
I'm not that guy.
My junk to anyone.
Except for this junk.
Yeah, here's some junk.
Oh.
That would be the climax.
Oh,
Pun intended. That would be the climax where the police get involved and they think they've caught the culprit.
But he's just trying to sell watches.
Yeah, but then you find
still
out.
get arrested for that.
But then you
Probably
find
is
out that
illegal.
those watches are stolen. So
Oh,
yeah. So
And
it's a
then
twist.
you find out that like the watches he stole were actually from the Flasher's father, and that's what started his whole like
Can the detective fall in love with the flasher?
Yes. 100%. I'm in. I'm in. Done. Sold.
Oh, wow.
Print.
You're writing this down, right?
Yeah. For those of you at home, yes.
There was some way we were recording this. Like, some way to save it.
I know. We should really get a tape recorder or something in here.
Yeah.
Do they even make tape recorders still?
They have to, right?
They have
With the-
to, I guess.
What is tape?
I don't
you
know.
wrap
It's
presents with.
elusive kind of thing, but I've seen them. I've seen them before. Yeah, a buddy of mine had one.
You're so young, Shoshanna.
I always think someone's lying when they say
romance in the 90s.
I always think someone's lying when they say a buddy of mine. Buddy,
Yeah, good buddy of mine.
got a buddy of mine. I give him a call. I got a buddy of mine.
Sure.
So the audience cannot see this amazing shirt that Cubby is wearing right now.
Oh, yeah.
I had to look at it for a second, and I was like, okay, it's a funny shirt. It's definitely it's pirate booty, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's not pirate booty, the snack that you get at a Ritz theater,
Which is delicious.
and you're disappointed because there's not enough. It is inside where it looks like there would be jewelry. It's shaped like a butt, but it's colored. I mean, not colored, but it has the color
It's golden.
of
A
gold.
golden ass, if you would.
It's golden ass.
Golden
It's golden
booty.
arse. It's golden booty.
Golden booty.
Golden booty.
It is. It's a great, sitting in a treasure chest.
There's
It is a
another
pretty
one.
good shirt.
Let's write a show called Golden Booty. Okay.
I like it.
What's
Because it could be,
what's the plot line?
It could be like Midas, like King Midas, like someone who has like the golden, everything they touch is gold.
Everything that Jack touches turns to butts.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Done. Sold.
That might be fun for the first 3 times, but then by the end of the show, we're like, there's too many butts in here. And then he would have to say, what can I say? I like big butts. And I cannot lie.
And then we break into that entire song.
Yeah.
That would be amazing.
But like a German beer hall version.
The writing itself in here, I think the heat has something to do with
It might
it
be,
because
it's going to our head.
I turned off the AC in Rep Radio Studio B, and it is quite warm in here. So we're getting
Yeah.
Well, actually, that's something to do with burlesque shows, actually. Because the hardest part of writing a burlesque show is not writing the 20 ideas you get off of like every random thing you see or do. Or Shoshi, you were always fond of saying that like burlesque shows just make you think of new ideas for burlesque shows.
They do. Burlesque shows spawn more burlesque shows. Like that's what everyone talks about at the end of a burlesque show is like, when do we do the next one? How about this idea? How about this
Yeah.
idea? Which I think is an indication that it is an exciting and accessible art form, which there aren't a lot of those out there. Like there aren't a lot of TV shows where you watch and you're like, oh, that inspires me to write my own TV show. But people see burlesque shows and the audience gets excited about it in a way that you don't see in a lot of other theater.
well, they're engaging. I mean, it's even though this one is very scripted, you know, there's this feeling that the audience is very much a part of the show.
Oh, heavens, yeah. Yeah.
Now, even though it is scripted, is there audience participation written into it? Or are they just kind of observing it and it's sort of there?
Actually, a bit more than usual in this one. There is a point where I make a speech, and then open it up for questions from the audience as the candidate, like town hall style.
It's going to be pretty interesting.
That would make the producer and me very nervous.
Well, as the producer, I have complete faith in Cubby. Actually, I do. I've seen Cubby work a crowd like no one else. Like I have complete faith in you. Does that make it worse for you now?
It makes me want to fail so that I can disappoint you. I'm torn because I want the glory of success, but I also want you sad.
Okay, I have complete faith in your failure.
All right.
Okay.
Yes.
We're set.
It
All right.
is win-win now. I'm going to give it my all.
It's going to be a good show now, guys. I just fixed it for us.
So, what would
You're
you?
such a good producer.
Thanks.
What would you? What would you like people to know besides this illuminating conversation we've had? What would you say to people out there who are on the fence, who are not sure what to expect here, but are thinking about coming? What would you say to your Facebook friends who have clicked interested and did not click going?
Like, I guess kind of like, what's wrong with you? Because like, it is one of...
I would say, first of all, because one of the big reasons, I have a lot of friends that do amazing shows all the time, and what keeps me from seeing all of them is just scheduling. So first of all,
Yeah.
I'm going to say it's going to run for the whole weekend.
Yeah.
We have 4 dates. So
September 1st through the 4th.
you can fit it into your schedule.
There you go. That's really... I want to say it is probably one of the most magical shows I have ever been a part of. You are on a historic tall ship with masts and wood beneath you, and you are looking out over the Delaware River. The Ben Franklin Bridge is right behind you. The lights of Camden and the lights of Philadelphia on either side. They have these beautiful sort of tea lantern lights set up on the boat, and you've got beautiful people taking off their clothes in front of you and humor going on. But I remember once this amazing thing happened where one of our amazing dancers, Lilu Lenore, who's been dancing with us for years, she was right in the middle of a dance and fireworks went off.
Wow.
And there were fireworks going
Perfect
on
timing.
behind her as she's dancing. And that is such a magical moment. You can't get that anywhere else. Like maybe in the world. Like this is a once in a lifetime opportunity if you've never seen one of these shows before.
Which is always the benefit of live theater anyway, because what happens here will never happen again.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And like working with Kim and Shoshi I also feel that's really magical, because at absolutely any given point, we will abandon the script and then just start riffing in character. Just if something happens, like when the firework goes off with the dancers, it's just absolutely pure magic. But then when something like that happens when we're talking, because we've actually had the same thing. We've had fireworks go off mid dialogue.
Oh yeah.
And we had to play up how you couldn't hear us over them. So we had to just like play it frustrated and
Angry at Camden. Like, dare you put up those fireworks now?
So it ended up being like 5 minutes of us yelling threats at the city of Camden across the water.
And Camden's like, bring it.
Yeah, they're like, whatever. I can't even hear you.
We've been through worse. We've been through worse.
Yeah, and it just...
Sorry, Camden. I love you.
Each other. It's getting better. It's getting funnier the whole time. And then we're like, all at once, we know the bit is done, and we go back to the script. You guys are amazing to work with.
Oh, I feel the same way about you. Yeah,
we must be amazing to watch.
That's right. Wait, we're amazing. We feel amazing. We must be amazing.
Yes. So for the evenings, September 1st and the 4th, is there only one show per evening?
Only 8 p.m. shows. Yeah,
only
just
8 p.m.
one show.
shows.
We considered if you guys, if we sell out, we'll do a 10 p.m. show. That is my guarantee, but we got to sell out first.
Cool. Is the runtime 2 hours?
It's about an hour and a half.
Cool.
Yeah, you'll probably be done by 9:30. Then hopefully there'll be time probably for a little hanging out, more drinking, because the bar is going to be there.
Character and socialize and stuff.
Great.
So if you want to tell us how great we are, or I don't know if I've mentioned this, buy us a drink. We will be available.
We will
Dark
be
and Stormy,
there.
right?
Yeah, that's our drink of choice.
Dark
I
and
think.
Stormy.
You can't go wrong with it.
Yeah, it's pretty great. Goslings, if you want to sponsor us, we're totally ready for that too.
We are so ready to sell out.
Oh yeah,
You want me in a Goslings t-shirt the whole show? Done.
done. We are ready to sell out for you.
Okay, so the production is Seven Deadly Seas, The Greater of Two Evils. It runs September 1st through the 4th, which is a good weekend to be in Philadelphia. If you're not going to the beach, don't go to the beach. Come to the river, right?
Yeah.
Instead of the beach, come to the river. You can get your tickets. We are going to post the Facebook link. But you can also go directly to sevendeadlyseas.brownpapertickets.com.
Yep,
Did we miss anything?
Right. I don't think so. There's, I don't know if it says it on the posters or right on the Facebook page, but it's $20 online, $25 at the door. But we also have a few VIP tickets available. They're a little more expensive. They're $35, but you get a guaranteed front row seat. Which is kind of important in this because you're on the ship, so it is first come first serve. So a front row seat is really nice. You get a swag bag full of like cool piratey stuff, and you'll be getting a free drink. So it's pretty worth it to get that VIP one.
Who doesn't want a
get in
swag
in time.
bag?
Yeah, we've got some cool stuff in there.
I love swag.
I know, right?
I'm going to steal some of that swag. I'm telling you straight up.
Me too. I'm constantly walking around the studio trying to figure out things that I can just lift and walk away with.
Right? Right? It's the best.
Look, it is your studio. You know this stuff belongs to you already. I know. I'm just going to take this.
It's going to take this.
You should. You deserve it.
Yes. Well, thank you so much for taking the time to chat with us.
Thank you for
telling
having
us
us
about your
on.
production. We have 2 more in the works, Flasher in the Rain and Pirate Booty.
That's right.
So those will
Golden
be
Booty.
Golden Booty, which will be coming up.
We don't want to get sued by the snack people.
Right.
Yeah, Golden Booty. Well, I'm pretty sure they had to work that out with somebody anyway, but still, yes. So there's tons of work. And who knows, maybe you'll come to the show and you'll come up with your own sort of burlesque idea, and then you'll be in the show.
That's a possibility. Oh, real quick, I just want to say,
our own show at St.
the-
Youth Center.
the two dancers in our show are Lilu Lenore and Renee Rebel, 2 amazing dancers. It's myself, Shoshana Green, Cubby Altobelli, Kimberly Cruz, and also our live band is going to be members from the West Philadelphia Orchestra. So
Ooh.
so that's going to be pretty great.
Very cool. Well, if you weren't already enticed by the VIP ticket and swag bag, everyone who's participating in this it's definitely more of a reason for you to go to. And how often do you get to see a show on a boat?
Yeah, and I don't know when we're
Not
going to...
often enough, frankly.
And also, I don't know when the show is going to happen again either.
Yeah.
So that's another incentive to come and see it, because hopefully it won't be another 2 or 3 years before we do them again. But it might be, so see it now.
Cool. Well, thanks for taking the time, and we'll be sure to get people out there in September. So if you have already clicked interested, go ahead and click going.
Yes.
Go ahead and buy some tickets, and we'll see you on the Gazela.
Thank you so much.
All right.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Thank you. Want to get involved with Broad Street Review? Head on over to our website at www.broadstreetreview.com and click Get Involved at the top. While you're there, help keep us running and click Contribute to find out how. Connect with us on social media, on Facebook and Twitter at Broad Street Review.